Okay guys, so let's begin with this chapter, midpoint theorem. One of the very important chapter in the geometry and also a little more difficult than rest of the chapters. So guys, in midpoint theorem, in all you are going to learn about three theorems. The first one is midpoint theorem. The second theorem is converse of midpoint theorem. And the third one is the intercept theorem. So we'll discuss each theorem and then we'll do some problem based on those theorem. Okay, so first theorem now that we are doing is the midpoint theorem. I'll tell you first what is a midpoint theorem. So let's say, okay, in short we also call this as MPT. Okay, that's called as midpoint theorem. Now what does midpoint theorem states? It says that if you have a triangle, so there is a triangle A, B, C, and these are the two midpoints of the triangle, say point P and another point Q. So since they are midpoints, AP will be equal to PB and AQ will be equal to QC. So AB may not be equal to AC. Okay, but P and Q are the midpoints of AB and AC respectively. So now what does the midpoint theorem states that? It states that if you join these two midpoints, then that segment which is formed, that is PQ, it will be half of the base BC, and also your PQ will be what? Parallel to BC. Get it? Not that difficult actually. So PQ is equal to half of the base BC and PQ is also parallel to the base BC. Okay. Now another thing, so in the exams you don't need to write the whole statement of the midpoint theorem. You can simply write reason as midpoint theorem, which states what? The line segment joining the midpoints. Okay, look, the line segments joining the midpoints P and Q of any two sides of a triangle will be parallel to the third side and it will be half of the third side. Okay, so that is what the midpoint theorem states. Now we will do some problems based on this. So let's start with first very basic problem, but this type of problems are also asked in the exams. So though you may find it easy, but it is important from the exam point of view. Now let's say out here we've got a triangle ABC. So say here so we've got a triangle ABC. One sec, I'll just draw another triangle. Okay, so here we've got a triangle and P and Q are its midpoints. So we are also given that P and Q are equal to each other. Sorry, P and Q are the midpoints. So say out here we've got the point A, that's a point B, and the point C, and that's P here and then Q here, and AP is equal to PB, AQ is equal to QC. Okay, AB is equal to 9.6 centimeter. I'll just write on the data that is given to us. AB is equal to 9.6 centimeter. BC is equal to 11 centimeter. Then AC is equal to 11.2 centimeter. And you are asked to find the perimeter of the trapezium P, B, C, Q. I wrote it as a quadrilateral because actually it won't make a difference even if I write it as a quadrilateral in this sum. Okay, so guys, we'll just do the markings now. Look, what all is given to us. AB is given as 9.6, so we can find out PB is how much. Okay, now we also know P and Q are what? Midpoints. So the first statement we'll write that PB is equal to half of AB. What is the reason of PB is equal to half of AB? That's because P is midpoint. P is the midpoint of AB. That's why. So that will be what? Half of 9.6, which becomes how much? 4.8 centimeter. So I've got PB is equal to 4.8. Now I need to find out PQ. PQ is equal to half of BC. What is the reason for this now? Because of midpoint theorem. Okay, I'm writing MPT for now, but you have to write the whole statement in the exams. So it will be half of BC, that is 11, which is 5.5 centimeter. Now QC. QC is equal to what? Half of AC. Again, why? Because Q is midpoint. Q is midpoint of AC. So half of 11.2, which is equal to 5.6 centimeter. Okay, so we have got the measurements now. I'll just put it all of them on the diagram now. So PB we got as how much? 4.8. PQ we got as 5.5. CQ we got it as how much? 5.6. And BC is already given to us as what? 11 centimeter. Now how do we find the perimeter of the quadrilateral PBCQ? How to find the perimeter of this quadrilateral PBCQ? So that will be equal to what? It will be PB plus BC plus CQ plus QP. So you add up all of them. So it will be 4.8 plus 11 plus 5.6 plus 5.5. The total is equal to what? 26.9 centimeter. So guys, this kind of problems can come for 3 marks in your exams. So though it's simple, yeah, but you need to write all the statements and the reasons and all, and that's what you get marks for. Then next problem now. Okay guys, in the problem number 2, you have to prove that the figure obtained by joining the midpoints of the adjacent sides of a quadrilateral. So see, in this figure now, in this question, I'll repeat the question once again. They have not given any diagram, so you'll have to draw the diagram on your own. I'll repeat the question. They say that prove that the figure obtained by joining the midpoints of the adjacent sides of a quadrilateral. So they have just given us that there is randomly any quadrilateral. Okay, and if you join those points, if you join the midpoints of the adjacent sides of a quadrilateral, then that it's a parallelogram. Now let's say okay, 1 minute. I'll try once again drawing a quadrilateral here. Guys, now the thing is, they have given us that it's a quadrilateral and it's not a parallelogram or something, so you can basically draw any quadrilateral. Okay, so I'm drawing something like this here. So this is a quadrilateral. It's not any specific figure. It could be, but I have just drawn any quadrilateral. So since they have not specified, you have to draw any shape of a quadrilateral. Now from here to here, I'll just join all the midpoints. Now they're saying when you join the midpoints of the two adjacent sides of a quadrilateral, you have to say the figure which you get now is what? It's a parallelogram. So see, we are given, let's say this is a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. Then it is P, Q, R, S. You're also given that P, Q, R, S are what? Midpoints. So all these sides are equal. As remember, you have to write everything in the exam. Okay, I may not be able to write all the statements now because of the lack of space, but you need to write everything. So first you write what given ABCD is a quadrilateral. PQRS are the midpoints of side AB, BC, CD, DA respectively. And now we are going to prove. What do we have to prove? Prove that quadrilateral A, sorry, not A, we have to prove that quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. Now, okay, we'll also have to do some construction out here now. So what's the construction that we need to do? So see, the construction we need to do out here is join AC. We'll do what construction? Join AC. Okay, let's start the problem now. So see, okay, so the first statement, guys, now is okay, first we had to make some construction, right? I forgot to do that construction. I'll make the construction first. So we said what? Join AC. So starting from the point A, you need to draw a dotted line till where? C. And we write the statements now. So first statement we'll write that in triangle ABC. Let's see. Notice now, in triangle, first statement is in triangle ABC. Now what can you say in triangle ABC? That in triangle ABC, your BQ is equal to what? Not BQ, PQ, sorry. PQ is equal to half of AC, and PQ is also parallel to AC, and the reason for it is what? Midpoint theorem. Okay. Now we'll take in triangle ADC. In triangle ADC. In triangle ADC, we can say what now? SR is equal to half of AC, and SR is parallel to AC. Again, what will be the reason? Midpoint theorem. Now you compare the statements number 1 and 2, you will find that both the sides are half of AC, both are parallel to AC. So if you compare those, I can say what, that therefore PQ is equal to SR. Also PQ is parallel to SR. What will be the reason from 1 and 2? Then guys, next property number 4. Now remember, whenever opposite sides, if the opposite sides are equal and parallel, if any one pair of sides are equal and parallel, then that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So that's also a property for a parallelogram, to prove a parallelogram. So now the fourth statement will be that therefore quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. What is the reason we'll write? Because opposite sides are, or we'll say just that one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, or parallel and equal, same thing. Got it? So if in a quadrilateral any one pair of side is equal and parallel, then that becomes a parallelogram. Okay, done. So there are 4 statements. This kind of question can come for 4 marks. As I have done this sum joining what? AC. You could also do the same sum by joining what? BD, and then prove it accordingly. Okay, so now next figure. Guys, next question, number 3. This is a little more tougher one now. So again, out here we'll draw the figure first. So there is a parallelogram. Okay, so say this is a parallelogram, and we have joined from, we'll join from L to Q. So there is one point L here which is joining here to Q. There's another point which starts from S and it passes through the midpoint. So guys, that's our figure now. I'll just label this figure. See what all is given to us now out here. So you're given that this point is S, then that's L, this is R, and this is P, that's M, that's Q, and N. Now this line is parallel to this. It's given to us. So you're given LQ is parallel to SN. And also L is the midpoint of SR. So guys, whatever I'm marking in the black ink, that is given to us. Now what all you have to prove? So see, first we need to prove that SP is equal to half of Rn. SP is equal to half of Rn. Second thing we need to prove that Sn is equal to 2 times of LQ. And remember, it is also given to us that quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. Okay, this is given to us. Now okay, we'll start the proving here now. Okay guys, out here you don't need to make any construction, so we'll just begin the problem now directly. Okay, what was the first part you have to prove? SP is half of Rn. Now since PQRS is a parallelogram, I can say what? That PS, okay, I can say what? That PS is equal to RQ. Why? Because they are opposite sides of a parallelogram. Correct? So we'll be done with that one part. Now guys, comes the converse of midpoint theorem. So in this problem we are going to make use of converse also. Now what is a converse of midpoint theorem? So in converse what we do is, you can see we have started a line from the midpoint, right? L. So notice here, what is the converse state? That if you draw a line parallel, if you draw a line which is parallel to the base. So what is the base out here? Sn is the base. Okay, L is a midpoint. So if I'm drawing a line parallel to the base Sn, then the line where it meets sorry the line where it meets Rn, it will meet at its midpoint. So when you draw this line parallel, it will turn out that this point is also what? A midpoint. Is it clear? So when you are drawing a line from the midpoint parallel to the base, wherever it intersects the third side, even that will be what? Your midpoint. That is the converse of midpoint theorem. Is it clear? So we are going to make use of this new property now, converse of midpoint theorem. Because it may be a little difficult to fit up all the statements out here. Let's see, if I'm not able to fit, I may just tell you orally and then you write it on your own. So let's start. The first statement we'll try is in triangle SRN. Okay, it is always important you specify the triangle that you are considering. So in triangle SRN, what we can say? Q is midpoint. Q is midpoint of Rn. Now what is the reason? Why is the Q midpoint? So that's because of converse of midpoint theorem. Is it clear? It's because of the converse of midpoint theorem. So we prove what? Q is also midpoint. Now if Q is a midpoint of Rn, then I can say what? RQ is equal to half of Rn. What will be the reason? Because Q is midpoint. Because Q is a midpoint of Rn. So we said that Rq is also what? Half of Rn. Then next statement, number 3. I can also say Sp is equal to Rq. Reason? Because opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. Remember, you cannot write any such shortcuts. I'm writing right now because I don't have space to write. And then fourth one. Now see, if you compare 2 and 3, what will we get? We will get Sp is equal to half of Rn. Compare them. So what is the reason here? From 2 and 3. So that proves what? Sp is equal to half of Rn. And I think that was one of the part we had to prove. So we have proved here one part. Then fifth statement. So now we've proved what? Basically that even this Rq is equal to, we have proved the first part. Now guys, what we'll do further, we have to prove now Sn is 2 times of Lq. So see, again we'll take what? Triangle SRN. Look here now. So in triangle SRN, what can we say now? In triangle SRN, again we can say what? LQ is equal to half of Sn. Why or how? Because of midpoint theorem. You see, L and Q are midpoints, and when you are joining them, it becomes half of the base Sn. Also parallel, but we don't need parallel, so I'm not writing that. So LQ is half of Sn, and if you cross multiply, you will get what? Therefore Sn is equal to 2 times of LQ. Okay, that was the last statement, and then again this problem is done. Again guys, this is an important problem. They can ask you like for some say like for 4 marks or something. Okay, now guys, next problem. Okay, we'll do now guys problem number. So first I want that you'll now see in exercise 12a, in the exercise 12a, I'll tell you which problems you can do. First you solve the problem which I've already explained you, these 3 problems. Then in exercise 12a you can do some numbers from 1 onwards till 5. Okay, you can try them. 4th and 5th are little different, but you can try them, you may get them. And I'll show you problem number 6 then right now. Okay, so you will try 1 to 6 first yourself. If you're not getting, then you can look at the next, continue with the video. Then I'll show the 6th one here right now. Okay, so let's start with the problem number 6. Guys, in problem number 6 now, okay, so I'll draw the figure first, one sec. Okay, so you're given from D to C is one line, then you're given from A to B is another line, then from C to B. Guys, I'm just drawing all lines dark only, though they are not dark in the question, because I cannot draw dotted line here easily, that's why. Okay, so I'll label everything now. So you're given that this is A, then this is B, this point is C and D. It's also given that all these 3 lines are parallel to each other. This is a point P, that's a point Q, and that's a point R. Okay, so that's the whole figure here. Now you're given, whatever is given I've already marked in the question also. There is a trapezium ABCD in which AB is parallel to DC and all that blah blah blah. It's given P is the midpoint of AD, so I'll mark that also. P is the midpoint of AD. Okay, also PR is parallel to AB is given. We have to prove that PR is equal to half of AB plus CD. So what we have to prove? We have to prove that PR is equal to half of AB plus CD. This is what we are supposed to prove out here now. Now how to prove this? So then look, let's start. First statement now. Let's we'll start with in triangle DAB. Okay, so I write first statement in triangle I write ADB, in triangle ADB. Can you all try? Why is okay? I can say that Q is midpoint of DB. Okay, tell me how I get this. Q is a midpoint of DB. Try the reason. So basically I'm proving that this part is equal to this part. And what is the reason for this? The reason is converse of midpoint theorem. It is the converse of midpoint theorem, right? You can see again I'm drawing a line parallel to the base from the point P. So it will be, so even Q will become what? It's midpoint by the converse of midpoint theorem. Now in triangle DBC, now we are taking the next triangle. See the inverted triangle number 2. In triangle DBC, here in triangle DBC, I can say again what? R is the midpoint. R is midpoint of BC. Now how can you say R is a midpoint of BC? Again it's the same theorem, converse of MPT. See, notice again we are drawing a line which is parallel to the base DC. Look, this line QR is parallel to the base DC. Again, so what happens? Point R also becomes what? A midpoint. So now this part is equal to this part. So R is a midpoint of BC. Reason will be converse of midpoint theorem. So now again in triangle ADB. Okay, now let's go back to triangle ADB. Statement number 3. In triangle ADB, what can we say now? In triangle ADB, PQ will be equal to what? Half of AB. What will be the reason? Midpoint theorem. So now it is midpoint theorem because we already have two midpoints P and Q. Number 4. In triangle DBC. Okay, in triangle DBC, QR is equal to what? Half of DC. Reason will be what? Again midpoint theorem. Correct? Now we need to add up both the statements, guys. We'll add up the statement number 3 and 4. So first we'll add up left hand sides PQ plus QR. Add up the right hand sides half AB plus half DC. So what will it become? Adding 3 and 4. Now what is PQ plus QR? PR. Correct? Check the figure. PQ, look out here. PQ plus QR are collinear points, so we'll get PQR. That is PR. And what is half of AB plus DC? So I'll take half common out here. Now if I take half common, what will I get in brackets? AB plus DC. And that is what you are asked to prove. And hence I can write what over here? Hence proved. Okay. So yeah, done with it, guys. So we've done right now only till problem number 6. You can use the property of the problem number 6, meaning you can, whatever we had to prove here, you can use it as a formula for the problem number 7 and then solve it. Okay. And fine. So we'll stop here. We'll not do too many problems at the same time. We'll do few problems every time. So it'll become easier for you to understand.